Welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Oh, hey, real
It's Q.
And we back.
back.
Season 3, Episode 3.
Mm.
I think this will be a good one. Before we get started, I want to tell everybody like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification button. Follow us on IG, Facebook, TikTok, and and, and,
Threads.
and Threads.
Yeah, we.
We got Threads too. We keeping up.
Mm-mm.
We keeping up. So check us out. I don't know. Y'all got anything else for the intro?
We got hop into it.
Let's
Okay,
hop.
let's
Let's
get to it.
hop.
All right, fellas, I got one. I was having a conversation this week with a homie, and it kind of basically it came to the conclusion: thoughts, you got thoughts, and you got feelings. Both of them are valid. They both hold weight. Wouldn't even say one's more important than the other. They both, they both exist. You gotta acknowledge both of them, but they're also different. You gotta understand when your feelings are affecting your thoughts, and when what you're feeling is making you think a certain way, and then you understand when what you're thinking is making you feel a certain way.
Mm.
And it's very important to understand and have, acute awareness of it. That way you can understand where to, adjust if you going bad, or if if you view like the post you had about your actions. If you're saying, you're saying certain shit, or you in your relationship and you're gonna find yourself, being, speaking vitriol towards your partner, or speaking negatively to him, you can understand maybe I'm feeling a certain type of way that's making me think and say these things, and vice versa. Sometimes you can think stuff, have a certain perception on something that'll make you feel a type of way, or get you sad, get you depressed. I was just telling him, oh boy, you gotta, understand and, operate. You want to keep that just because you feel like, no matter what you feel about two, 2 plus 2 is 4.
Mm.
You can feel like it's 5 all day long. That's a feeling. If you know the truth is 4. And why the 2 look like a 3 today? Oh, it's a 2. But you got to understand that. And just something I was thinking.
Mm.
Uh, wasn't really a question, but, you know. Well, maybe my question would be, how do you guys think, that your feelings affect your thoughts, or your thoughts affect feelings?
Mm. Go ahead.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll try and tap in. I think one pre-show we kind of hit on this topic a little bit, where I do think that your feelings and your thoughts,
Thoughts. Yeah.
they're hand in hand, but they don't always work as a unit. Where let me see what will be the easiest way to kind of like sum this thing. Where a lot of times your underlining feelings, or your underlining feelings impact your thoughts, ends up like dealing into your action, right? Where I don't know if like I directly separate the two, and where it's like I think you said like 2 plus 2 is. I think that's a harder thing. I think more things are a little bit more like fluid, in a sense, where there's not a lot of concrete things when it comes down to like we get to math and like some computing shit. Yes, there's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
analog, digital. There's like one, two. Like there's very binary things. But most things that we deal in, like if we say the word beauty, there we got thoughts and feelings about that motherfucker. We can intellectualize what we think is beautiful, but when we see something beautiful, that feeling gonna hit. Whether it's good or bad, like it could be a light skinned or a dark skinned girl. We think we we might think that we only are attracted to light skin, or only attracted to dark skin, or only attracted to like really shapy, or only attracted to really skinny.
Then that one
But when
walk
that
in.
thing come
Yeah,
across,
yeah, yeah.
like it's certain things you can't intellectualize, you just feel it right there. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But I think that it's like that with a bunch of things. Whether we want to go, I don't even want to go into the political sphere. It's probably something there I haven't like thought deep enough, but I know for sure
It's a
if we
lot.
like speak like
Yeah.
relationship wise, intangible wise, like in general, that's something to kind of like. I think it's a seesaw in which it's really important to balance out and understand both. Because sometimes they can work together and sometimes they can be butting heads. And when there's butting heads, it's probably something under that you got to figure out. And that's where like that thing that like the meme that I had for the pre-show. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Make sure y'all tune in. Sundays usually around about 12-1. But during the pre-show, what that thing was speaking about was like sometimes those underlining feelings that impact that thought. That you might not even know. That's my initial take.
Yeah, and the thing is that when I was listening to the question, and also again it popped in my head again when Q was talking, and it's something that I was speaking on last episode was the cognitive behavioral therapy.
Yeah.
It's the you pretty much the ability to think your way into to assist your it's a way of thinking that can change your actual situation. Instead of being a victim, you can actually think the thing through and manifest said thing as you would like to. It's pretty much the power of how you think. So I definitely agree. Like the idea that
That's TBT is behavior, thoughts, feeling.
behavior, thoughts, feeling. I don't
Like isn't that kind of like the cycle of CBT?
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah. So pretty much you could even like behavior, thoughts, feeling, or you can do thought, behavior, feeling.
Yeah.
So it's like
But
it's pretty
still
much
kind of like
the cycle.
itself,
Right,
yeah.
right. So for me it literally made it so that it's not like really it's not too much that's up to chance. It's pretty much how you interpret a thing,
Mm-hmm.
how you digest the thing, and then how you react to said thing. So and with even like it's almost like, and I'd say something too. The crazy use that analogy about the looks thing. So when I was growing up, as we probably all remember, like the light skin thing was like the crazy dopest thing. The light skin, you know what I mean? The mixed girl thing was like super popular when we were growing up.
And they also age like milk.
They had 4 strong summers coming up.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had 4 strong summers
And then
Then it was done for.
and then done. And so, but you still see there still
Hey,
are
I
dudes that.
follow him on Facebook.
But yeah, so
average at best.
it get dark. It get dark. But yeah, but the point I was making, it wasn't about that part. It was just about the fact that like what I literally did was like and back then I wasn't thinking about no cognitive behavioral therapy, but it was like for me, I had identified and I know that now I'm more I have a better understanding that the individuals are individuals and products of situations, but I realized there was a certain character type that came with that.
Certain look.
The look came with a certain character, and so I was just like, yeah, I just want to sit out on that all together, right? So I literally convinced myself over time that just not something that I even willing to like be attracted to. And then, but like you said though, it's funny because when you see it, sometimes it just is what it is. You just see it. It's not so cut and dry. It's like literally, but I can tell you, I had a home. Yeah, I got a one dude I know. He was like, yeah, I like them. It's like we talk about what's your type. We had talked about it. He was like, yeah, my type is light skin with the tattoos. And I was like, bro, that sound like a fucking L. Sound like you set yourself up for the
Depending
L.
on what tattoo. But I ain't gonna lie. It used to be a time like 20.
I was about to say, yeah. I thought I was just gonna let you get it off. You talking about onks and all of that shit.
It was a time, but now like it became oversaturated.
Yeah.
Like I be seeing shorties with the eye of horrors with the titty out, and it's only covered by a nipple cover. That's it.
Hey,
that's it.
No holds barred.
Yeah.
Yeah, woke did something different than it did during that time period.
Oh no, woke for sure.
It's like completely different now.
Woke today is just different. Woke.
They've gentrified woke. Woke stand for a whole bunch of other stuff.
Say what? What'd you say?
You ain't gonna get me in trouble. Wait.
I thought I heard something.
Nah, stop because y'all got quiet. Y'all can start looking at me now. Go ahead. Tell me what woke mean. What woke mean?
Hey. Well, oh yeah. I see where you're going. Yeah, woke is definitely very accepting of every idea. That's the way I put it. Woke is acceptance of all ideas that
Here's the safe next definition. Woke means not asleep.
this nigga.
Yeah, right. All right, so are we tapping in on this? So I got to pivot.
You good.
Oh, I think we done covered it. It was I mean,
All right, is there any are there some things that we think is detrimental? And we ain't got to go like off the cliff, but in general, like as we were speaking about woke, I think woke is like a good little pivot of a conversation that we tapped into, where are there things that we are now accepting or trying to push to accept that are detrimental to us, specifically as Black people? Maybe that'll be the easiest way to go with it.
You said, are there things that we are attempting to accept that are to the detriment?
Yes, because of like as we said, like
Absolutely.
speaking about like woke ideology, and y'all just kind of like hit on like how.
I'll just keep it general without diving into specifics or to make anybody mad. But if you look at back in Black people in America, when we were at our best, when we were living the family, it's cool. This light work. This light work.
Go ahead.
But when we could you would say financially.
What was the line right there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Oh, I'll cross that motherfucker. I don't care.
Hey, sound like you care. Go ahead though.
But if you look back and you look where our deals were, they lined up in a certain type of way. And if you look now, where we vote and politically where our ideals are, it's totally opposite. And I think it is if you look at Black people and where we have gone since our ideals.
So be
changed.
specific. What are some things
Because I was gonna have a question. So what do you think? Because
go ahead.
that actually I remember a question that I had season 1, and we were talking about whether us leaving the church house was beneficial or not. Because I feel like what you're talking about was a time period where we're also majority Christian. Is it not? Also majority going to the church house.
That was part of it, yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that was the only. I think a lot of those ideals came from church, but I don't think.
So that's why I was trying to figure out the ideals of this or this level of morality that we were using to provide that structure, or where we got these ideals from. Would you say that they came from the church house?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I just wanted to make sure.
I don't agree.
Well, from my perspective, I mean, I don't think all Black people got all their ideals from church, but
I want to let them finish because I just interrupted him. Go ahead.
But I also think, and like you say, we can talk about which were the major ideals that led to the decline, but I think it's been a clear decline.
Absolutely.
In where we were and where we're at. And if you look at some of the ideals, and you look what we believe in now, I mean, it's hard to say it's not detrimental. Like,
sure.
and
you
so
said what's not detrimental?
What we believe in is some of our ideals and some of this woke stuff. It's hard to say if you look at the state of Black people now.
It's impossible.
Versus then, how can you say it's not detrimental?
A little bit. So I guess so. What I would say, I don't think that was specifically like the church. I think that in general we had better community back inside those times. And I was watching something recently, and they spoke about this where there's like a BC and AD a little bit to the community, Black community.
Okay.
And or maybe I'll make the statement that I'll say it might be BCAC.
Where is that at?
I'm about to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Where I think that before Coke/crack and after Coke/crack, the generations, and we can get into we can go into even more political structures, the systematic piece to it, but there is a lost generation. There was only really one lost generation when it comes down to Black people, because of prior to a specific generation down the line, you can almost kind of go around 75 and down. It was like the structure, the people, XYZ. And then right now, I think that we also right now have a strong foundation of a generation. in which most of the guys, as you see, black fathers right now are the most active.
Yeah.
They deal with their kids the most out of any other
Facts.
demographic. There's this gap generation that's right there, in which it kind of exists between the 80s and 90s of the parents that happened inside those 2 decades. To me, where something went awry. We can say it's crack. We can say it's welfare. We can say it's a bunch of different things.
Music.
But there was specifically like a lost generation. That to me, I think in that 20-year period.
So, sounds like that's more like our parents.
I think
is that what you're saying?
I think our parents' generation.
Our parents' generation.
And maybe it's right a little bit before. Depending on how long we say our parents are.
Right.
But as I'm saying, all I'm saying is like the parents of the 80s and 90s. So that 20-year span.
Yeah, and then shoot, another thing that came from that part, our parents was the most single parent generation.
It's a bunch of different little things. But before and after that, it seemed like we're concerted right now from the effects of that shit.
It's crazy.
And then before that, like it was a very specific mindset that came with it as well. There is a definite lost generation in there.
For sure.
80s, 90s.
I can definitely see what you're saying. Yeah. Nah, I agree. There's no way that anybody could say that we are doing better than we were before. There's no way that I don't see an argument to be made in that regard. The idea of just the amount of selfishness, the lack of like me and Tone was talking earlier. Like people don't even know their neighbors. Like you living in a neighborhood, you don't know the person that lives beside you. So there ain't nobody that if you ain't at home, you know what I mean, is actually looking out for you, your kids. Nobody around you that even knows your name or anything to actually, and you don't care. You don't even think that is a thing that you should do. And I'm not even saying like, well, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that I am aside from this statement. Like all of this is inclusive. I think that we have become these people. Over time, we have become these people that are just much more selfish. We have the ideas of things becoming that you failed if it doesn't come at this point, which like at this point we're putting these deadlines on things and these time periods on things. Like, bro, people don't actually get into established careers until 30. So that means you're just beginning. That means that hell, you ain't supposed to retire till what is it, 67?
That's the age.
That's the age where, you know what I mean, where you can retire or whatever, or well, you know, where you can get Social Security, 67, and so like we're much more lazy than our generations before. I think we're more lazy. I think we're
smarter also though.
I think you're going into talking points.
Okay, well, at the end of the day, this is my opinion, nigga. I believe that niggas is more lazy.
I believe your opinion is a talking point.
Okay, well, it's still my opinion. I don't give a damn what you think about my opinion right now. In my opinion, we're much more lazy. Definitely, the self-centered part is like very big, and I think that we're even raising. What else? We're very much so more into celebrity things that like we're.
This is different than previous generations.
In my opinion, yes. I didn't see like my parents and my aunts and the adults around me weren't talking about famous people all the time.
They were talking about the stories.
I mean, my mom didn't watch stories, so that wasn't something that played in my house.
It was always something.
It was always something.
About celebrities?
Like, you can replace celebrity with said entertainment thing that they are involved in. With men, it's easy because we're always like basketball, football shit.
Oh yeah, that's always been.
But
like
with women, like theirs evolves a little bit differently, but it's the same shit.
Yeah, I mean, but also there's another part of it too, is that we are able to see their lifestyles in a little bit more in depth way as well. So it's more of like, instead of you just getting this caricature of a person and them being able to just be this person, which they all were gonna, most people were gonna push themselves out as a much more moral character. Now we've, at least in my opinion, looks like he disagrees with this too.
I think we're softer.
Oh no, we're 100% softer too. I think we're softer too.
That's literally what I was about to achieve. I think like convenience has made stuff worse for us.
I agree.
Like the easier stuff got, and the more we got, and more technologies, the less, like the less we do. Like even going back, if you look at like before the invention everything. Like just gradually over time, when you actually study history, you see the more we get technology, the more they give us stuff to entertain us, the less we really focus on
Even
life.
me this week, my microwave been out. So I've been having to heat shit up in the oven. I promise I ain't been eating like I have, bro.
Yeah, but Tone, I think you hit closer to
20
a
minutes
point
to heat something up, boy.
where
It's more
that's why I
healthy for
always
you.
push back against like certain things that are indicative of every single generation. There's not a generation that has not said the previous generation was more lazier than the previous one, based off of the advancement of technology. To me, I think that humans are just humans, and we deal and adapt to whatever the technology of the time is. More than like there's a specific change in generation, it's just what is your access to technology and information.
I definitely think that's one of the things.
I
Even
agree.
some of the stuff that I hear today, like I say another thing I think made our community kind of, like a lot weaker. Calling masculinity toxic. Once we started identifying masculinity as toxic, there was some of that stuff that was not toxic. There was definitely moments when I was growing up where I need to be told, "Hey, get up, boys don't do that." Like, or why you acting like that? Like you being too. Like there was times that I needed to hear that.
I don't think it's necessarily. I mean that part, but I think a lot of it also might be a little controversial. But a lot of like the feminist movement also has had, I believe, detrimental effects not only on like the black community but black women. If you look at the position they're in and where they're not, like following a lot of the, I think a lot of the movement doesn't necessarily include black women. So it's more about the benefit of women, but not black women.
Okay, so even with that, what I say when it comes to like, I don't like blaming women for nothing because I feel like as men we supposed to be the leaders. So like the same way we were sitting there talking about earlier, when you set a certain standards, you don't attract certain. And as men, as a group, as total, we are not setting that standard. Like it's some of us, I'm not gonna say it's always some of us, but we're not setting that standard to where it's like, yeah, women gonna dog gonna follow suit if men is sitting there like, nah, I'm not into that. Like whatever men is into is usually what they follow in suit. That's being his.
Well, but then also you got to think too is that I'm not disagreeing with what you said. I think that definitely at the end of the day, no. This is my honest opinion. I don't. At the end of the day, I think that we are definitely softer, and I think that as far as I don't think. Okay, so what do we do with the military? What do we do with the military if we're all going to start to be much more softer men? So what happens when shit hit the fan and you need these niggas that when we really have to take action and do something? So what we gonna rely on? With the military, so we just gonna let the military go continue to.
I got a question.
We're gonna let the military continue to, because at one point they stopped even taking people. At one point, they were trying to slow down.
Eventually, the military not gonna have soldiers anyway.
Say it again.
It's gonna be all nukes.
It's gonna be pretty much video game players.
But that's what's really gonna.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's on some Black Mirror shit. We can get into that.
I mean,
I love to get into like a theoretical.
That's crazy. So you believe that they're going? What is that? Is it the Geneva Convention? Geneva Convention, where it's like they're gonna just do away with all of the agreements and everything.
Maybe I think
crazy.
that even if you watch the newest Top Gun, they talked about that.
I don't know. I don't watch Top Gun. I don't know what that is.
Top Gun is like Top Gun. The first one was like that big movie that pretty much launched.
Oh no, the movie. I thought she was talking about.
No, I'm talking about.
Okay.
They came out with a second Top Gun like a year or two ago.
They had the roller coaster named after it and everything.
Oh no, I didn't. No, I know about the roller coaster. I know what he's talking about. I thought he was talking about like a podcast, something that was
No. I'm talking about like the movie with Tom Cruise.
Got you.
Where in that movie they spoke about pretty much, hey, your job is going to be eliminated fairly soon. And like this is pretty much your last hurrah, but like it's gonna be drones that can do this. It's gonna be technology that can do this to where we don't need the manual. So.
Yeah, the only thing is that there's. I'm not saying that because we already know technology and this AI, all of this stuff is going to take a lot of jobs, even outside of military stuff. But what I'm saying is that there's like treaties and like things that have been signed, and so we're saying we're just going to like. I don't know how. I don't know how and what time period that happens. I think that's a little bit something that's a little bit more far down the road. So like me and Owe, he's very into tech. His portfolio is heavy tech, and so he talks about like us going to. The places where the classes are going to be so pretty much fuck the class part. Pretty much that if you don't have a portfolio or something that is, if you don't have a portfolio or something that you're pretty much going to be watching TV on the jumbotron in his mind. And so
Oh, Ed, pull up to the pod.
Oh,
I'd
that's
love
too
to get
easy.
your take on future technologies and their impact on human society.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's like a space in which I'm highly interested in.
And
Tap
I
into
think
the
that we're
chat
gonna.
if there's some people that want to. Again, if you have information on that, that's like one of my favorite things for sure.
Yeah, I think that the further and further that the more and more we accept with it, the more and more we're gonna end up holding the L. The more, because I mean, like even the idea of like these kiosks,
Except,
it's
uh,
kiosks accept with the tech. The more and more that we socially accept the technology, the more and more, the faster that they're gonna push it into our faces.
so I ask you this: do you think that then leads us into like our generation possibly becoming dinosaurs? Unless there's
Be-
legislation that actually impacts the speed of it, I think that there's a part where we have to decide that shit, I gotta adjust.
Well, I think that no, I think that to me, I think that the
Especially
most
that AI shit.
because the thing is that it's not going to be so many the jobs that are going to get affected are very much so the jobs that people that we know, like the people that we're talking about, we're talking about like the grocery store jobs. We're talking about the
That's just first wave.
restaurant
Computer
jobs. We're
programmers.
That's
talking.
first wave.
Yeah,
Because
but what I'm saying
eventually
is
they're
that,
gonna 3D print
but what I'm
houses.
saying is, what I'm
Bankers.
saying is that what then happens to that population of people? So that's the thing. I think that we need to halt it as soon as we get an understanding on what we can, how we can do this in a way that that is still allowing us to progress, but we don't need to start to affect our society as fast as this could be, because at the end of the day, if they start taking all of these people, if let's say that they just take all of the jobs, we can say let's say your Walmarts, your Targets, your grocery stores, your McDonald's, your Burger King, if they take all of that out, so what do you think happens to that population of people?
What do you think happens to those businesses that don't have people to come back to them? If you take away everybody's job, nobody can then spend money, and then the businesses become affected. So it's not going. They're not
And this,
going to allow it
Then you
to.
get UBI.
and that's why I was telling old head we're gonna, because of the way
And that
that.
may or may not be a bad thing, just because I think
Oh,
the
I was
point,
slow on the UBI, but I know.
but
Yeah,
the point
universal
of
basic
the
income.
technology is to make our lives easier, and like
But at what point is it to the detriment of ourselves? That's what Tone is pretty much saying. We can keep on trying to make this thing so much easier and easier and easier, but what at point does it become? It's going to be to the detriment of the people that's trying to make it easier. We don't need. I think that that's where we gonna fuck up. Because there's gonna be a thing where, matter of fact, you see the people. I don't want to talk to nobody anyway. Well, I just go to this kiosk and put my food in this little machine, in this little thing, this iPad thing, and then just order my. Or I just order my food before I even get there. And then when I get there, the idea of not having to interact with anybody at the food chain level, bro, is crazy. So what happens to those people?
You don't even have to have a relationship soon. They sitting there selling dog on
Like
set,
this
set
is
dogs like
we're literally.
relationships.
I think that it's
I
much
mean,
more
I see
scary in my opinion than
beneficial.
you just
And
do
to
away
me,
with
this
all
is
those
why
jobs and then what?
since season one, I've been an advocate for legislating automation.
Oh no,
It's
I
been
agree
like
too.
something that I've been
I
on.
think
You know what I
I
mean?
think
I've been
Johnny
waving
was the
the
I
flag
one.
just
for.
watched the documentary. I'm gonna show you this after it. But
Oh,
the motherfucker who the main person, the open AI guy who is trying to,
he tapped out.
he is like the head of legislating, of getting AI legislated. He's just doing that to have a back door. He's not trying to get it. That's a farce anyway. He's just doing that so he can eliminate competition and be the only AI and get in good with the. So I think even legislating AI is a tricky subject too because.
But then you talking about the dude that's in tech
Yeah,
trying to legislate tech. That makes no sense.
But that's the people who are in oil are lobbying the oil people.
But did that make? I ain't saying that. I'm saying that probably didn't make sense either.
But I'm saying that's how politics works, though.
Hey, well,
And that's how probably with money.
if they do that,
If you
then
got
you got
you
to
got
figure
them
it out.
$1 billion, you can go to Congress and get the bill.
Oh, for sure, for
So
sure. I
they
already
got
know how.
so
Yeah, yeah.
that's how politics works. It
Even
ain't
with
about,
that, they're trying to legislate something that's already programming itself. I don't know how that's going to work.
Yeah,
yeah,
they
like
was
that's
talking
the
about
thing.
that too.
I agree with you. There needs to be safeguards, but I don't think legislation is.
How else are they
If you
gonna
think
do it?
people just gonna do it, you
Yeah,
fucked up.
they gonna be chasing the bread regardless. So yeah, the
I mean,
legislation
that's
gonna be
true
the
too.
only way.
That's true too. It's a trick bag. It is definitely a trick bag, which we probably can't get into right now. We got another topic that we have to get into, so I'll go ahead and put a pin in it.
All right, so yeah, Johnny, I got something. I was on the internet and I was watching the reaction, and they kind of clipped or like Dr. Umar spurred a little bit of a conversation piece that resonated with me. So Tone, you can play the clip.
It goes both ways though. Women,
That's the point he don't understand.
women pick the degenerates and men pick the degenerates.
Yes,
both of them pick each other.
What y'all niggas don't understand, y'all pick each other, bro.
Which is why I say that's what people's experience has been is not mine because I just
It's a representation
I don't get
of who
picked
they are.
by those. And
Which,
then
you know what's even crazier? The fucking degenerate women don't even really they try to, but they don't really even fuck with niggas on their shit.
They don't.
Cause they know for a fact they not gonna they know.
But that's the cheat code, at least for me.
When niggas say this, y'all telling on yourselves, bro. Bro, degenerate women don't really fuck with niggas on their real purpose because they know for a fact they don't level up. They don't measure up to what is expected of them anyway.
All right, cool. So I know for me, and what's always been reflective when I get into like these conversations is that like I tend not to end up dealing with a lot of these different scenarios because of what I attract, I guess you would say. What I attract tends not to be like the low-hanging fruit. And the low-hanging fruit is also not interested in me because I don't have like the bells and whistles that gets their attention. Like that's not what I lead at all. And I think that typically what you end up seeing and what the internet conversation ends up being a lot of is the guys that got bells and whistles on their shoulders shaking it and the women that they attract. And I think that there's just something to really notate and pay attention inside these conversations where, yes, if you have fast money and you do fast money shit, you're going to attract fast women. I have gotten this as well. I ain't got my shit together yet to really try and talk to you. Just by how I carry myself. Gotcha. Again, I ain't acting like I just got a bunch of money and I'm just doing a bunch of shit. Yeah. But the way I present myself, how I carry myself, and the morals that I stand for, typically, when you just see me out and about, and what will reverberate within my just who I am. Yeah. They understand that they aren't at that piece, at that place yet. So that was my takeaway from it. How y'all feel?
I gotta see the whole thing because it's 13 minutes. I'm interested. What else?
So you ain't see enough for you to develop an opinion about.
Yeah, all right. So the main piece of it was that
I got
degenerates talk to degenerates, and typically people that kind of like are about shit tend to talk to people that's about shit. And if you're talking about degenerate shit, it's probably saying something about you.
I agree. I'm just saying. I'm a content. I would have, but based off what I saw, I do agree with one of the first things he said, or it might have been what you were showing me earlier, where it said a lot of people are basically getting exposed, like with this mindset. And I think that's what the internet's doing. It's people complaining, but it's like you're also like revealing your position. You like showing your hand, and so like if you complain about certain things, or like I don't like women, that means you are attracted to that type of woman. You're attracted to bad. You're attracted to a bad character woman. You're attracted to low hanging fruits, superficial things, and that's why you have the complaints that you even have. So I think that's a big thing as far as like just there's a lot of character and just kind of our mental space where we're at as a culture, community, and people. It's just getting exposed and. To me, it be kind of concerning a lot because I feel like it's a lot of other shit we could be talking about. And all this time talking about like
maybe, but
I get entertained I'm very much so entertained by the relationship conversations as they happen. Not all of them, but I find the climate in which we're speaking about relationships so much more openly. I find that is very entertaining for me.
And beneficial.
And beneficial as well.
Let's not also like beat around the bush. Reality is that relationships, and especially who you choose to pick, is going to impact your day-to-day more than about most of this shit that we're going to talk about. Only other thing that might impact your shit is going to be your job and politics.
Yeah, I was listening to a guy. He said that other than choosing God, the person you choose as your mate is the most important thing, most important decision you'll make outside of that.
I ain't got a rebuttal.
I don't disagree with that either. I'm just saying a lot of these conversations that aren't
Okay.
fruitful is what I get tired of.
Low hanging fruit conversation.
It's that. I mean, I don't mind talking about relationship if we gonna really talk about it, but we just gonna talk about, why women want to take advantage of men, or why 50-50 should a woman go. Like, I don't want to sit and talk about stuff that everybody's gonna have, but like the merit and like I like theoretical concepts of like how to deal with how to be a better partner. How to deal with unhappiness when that time comes, and stuff like that. That's I can deal with that all day.
Yeah, but
all of them are important.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it's very important for us to be able to establish the degenerates. It's very important so that you know exactly what you're listening to and where it's coming from. It gives you a definite understanding of why it is that you're having these problems. You know what I mean? Why it is that your reality is this? It's purely based on the person that you are. And I mean, I'm not saying that one person better than anybody else based on money or your job makes you a better person or anything. But you can typically see that lower hanging fruit deals with lower hanging fruit, and they have a lot of low hanging fruit as disagreements and conversation. And so, I mean, that's literally what I agree with him 100%. Only thing I'm not a guy like I'll say, based on like the way I typically carry myself, I can't say that I haven't heard through the grapevine that somebody that wasn't necessarily, not gonna say on my level, but like as far as stability and those type of things, they didn't have the stability. I ain't gonna say that I haven't heard through the grapevine that they liked me or that they were interested, but they generally don't approach someone. That's like as a dude. I'll give you a great example. As a dude, when you feel that you are like in a mediocre space, if you're honest with yourself, when you feel mediocre, you ain't gonna holler at no Joan that's like a woman that's bad, like a bad Joan that looks like she got herself put together and all of that. You ain't shooting that jumper because you already know is
I like to say these words.
That's
I like
an
to
air
say-
ball.
You don't want that rejection.
Yeah, that's an air ball. Ain't no
need
need in getting rejected
No,
when you
to me,
already knew.
to me, even if I could, my words is that she looked too expensive for me.
Oh yeah.
It's certain women that you understand, like it's a different pocket that comes with
Yeah,
it.
that bad joint is as a regular man. That bad joint is just like not even something to even care about. Like
My boy
that's
at work
literally.
was telling me about this joint he had seen over there by South Park. He was like, yeah, she hopped out of Lambo.
Ah,
And
fuck
she
out of
was
here.
looking at me. I was like, boy, you don't want them problems, boy.
What?
You better sit down somewhere, bro. You don't
You
want
talking
them
about she was looking at me? She was looking through you, bro. It was something on the other side over there.
Bro got a little Tesla. You saw me.
He got a what?
A Tesla. He got a.
Oh, that ain't bad.
But
Yeah,
hold on. But hold on. Let's be completely
But you still
on the
don't
same
want them
page.
problems,
At the
though.
end of the day,
Still don't
you
want
said a
them.
Lamborghini.
Yeah. Lambo.
He had a Tesla. Was it a plaid?
I don't know what
Probably
kind of, I
not.
don't know what kind of
Probably
Tesla
not.
that
Please
is.
gonna
Yeah,
be
I
here.
don't
You
know.
run you 100 and some change.
Yeah.
So more than
It's
likely,
that,
it's not.
yeah.
I'm not trying to knock your boy. I don't. You know what I mean? Ain't no disrespect to him,
I
but
knocked him, bro. I was like,
she got out of a Lamborghini, bro.
you-
I'm gonna give you a prime
you don't
example,
want the
right? So
problems,
like,
boy.
I was at Wells Fargo. Well, no, as a matter of fact, I'll tell it from the perspective of my boy because he was the one that experienced it. So he same kind of type of thing. So he on his break, it was this girl that he kept seeing pass by, and she was like relatively nice, I guess, speaking and shit. And he was like, "Man, I'm gonna talk to it, right?" And he got into the parking deck and saw what kind of car she got in, and she had got into like an Alfa Romeo truck. And he came back, he was like, "Nah, bro, I can't do it." I was like, "Yeah, sound
Niggas
about
is-
right, bro.
I ain't
Sound about
rolling.
right."
I don't agree with that mindset.
You at least gotta say, hey.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
I
he
don't
said
agree with that.
they had spoke a couple times.
Most of them women ain't caring about a nigga like literally how much you make, as long as you got a decent enough job, and because it's just different, like different versions of it. I think Lambo might be a little different because of like Lambo kind of like
I want it, bro. That Alfa Romeo.
it speaks a little bit closer to like flashiness and shit like that.
It's
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
mindset thing. Like if you like the Alfa Romeo truck and shit like that. To me, just because a woman has a really decent car or she makes a decent amount of money, if you are a person that actually has your shit together, I think you're straight. If you're like kind of like a little bit like wavering in the wind, that's where the struggle comes in at.
Yeah, I don't know if I still look at, like, to me it's still a level of like what you said. Yeah, I can't afford those problems. Like for me, even the Alfa Romeo truck
No,
would mean
but it's
to me that I
different.
can't
Like,
afford
'cause
those problems.
she can afford those problems, and she has no problem like affording those problems. Like what? Like she sounds like she's probably a career woman.
Yeah, I
And
would assume
she's good.
so.
And she's also probably if she's probably over 30, 32, 34, 35.
I would
She
assume so if he was
understands
attracted
that,
to it.
like, okay, there's a give and take in the man that I'm going to end up dating, especially at my income level. In comparison, if she's like 22 and she has that, and like it's gonna be different because that's new money, and she ain't been able to settle in to figure out exactly what her barriers is. But I think a woman that is older, like,
I don't know.
if you're a nigga with your shit together, they know what's up.
No, you ain't changing the Lambo oil. Hell, I don't even know if you can just change the Alfa Romeo oil. I don't know that. I'm pretty sure you know them exact cars. No, they actually are very unreliable cars. That's like people out here with them Maseratis. You be like, bruh.
They look good, but they actually ain't. And they kind of shitty on the inside.
I saw a nigga driving a Maserati in the hood yesterday. He had folded the front of it. I was like, see, you can't, bro. Once you know how much it costs to replace that on it. So you just bought that car and you gonna ride around with that joint messed up.
Another one.
Range Rover's another one.
Range Rover another one. They it look good. But don't want them problems.
You don't want them problems for sure. Oh yeah, so I even get did I get my take on it?
I think so.
I think I did too. Never mind. I think I did.
And again, I love to hear y'all take on the you can grab a woman out of Target.
I believe that. I believe that.
Target,
Walmart's a different place. Hold on, there's a difference between Target and Walmart.
My bad.
It's a
so when I
different
say
place.
that, I'm talking about a woman working at.
No, that's what I'm saying. Even still,
they all $50 an hour.
No, I see. It's not a. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't. I stand on the. I don't care how much my old lady makes. I still feel that way. So I wouldn't. If it came down to it, her working at Target doesn't matter to me.
But I think like you and like the general the Kevin Samuels conversation, where he's talking about like the high value man. Don't like he.
Oh, you're not talking about us as regular folk. You talking about a high value man conversation. Okay.
I said people who money came over like an extended period of time.
Oh, okay.
That are high earning guys. Like it's not a real thing that ever really happens.
Yeah, I can't say that I've seen it because I mean one of those main things that they actually
and then they earn his money. Like it's about suspect.
They be leaning, and then based on what Kevin Samuels was saying, he was talking about the fact that you have to be able to take her in these places where you are amongst your peers. And she has to be able to hold the conversations at the level in which these people hold those conversations. And most often, those people will not be able to do so. So now that right there is now I get that part. He kind of
contradicted himself because he'll be like the high value man to get a woman at Target, Walmart. He'll just run down like these low hanging things. A man don't care about.
Hold on. No, you talking about fresh and fit dudes? They'll say that. I ain't never heard Kevin say that he get a chick from Walmart. Or like I ain't never heard him talk about getting regular. Okay, you have to find it for me. But yeah, I can see that as far as like dudes who you talking about upwards of $400,000.
It's only new. That's new money. It's new money game.
If you want to sit, you ain't.
No.
Like them.
Well, you talking about you have see how much you got to lose. You got because that's the thing. You gonna be able. You have too much to lose dealing with that type of person. But it's like you're putting yourself up to lose everything. You know what I mean? Exactly. They are purely a liability.
If she ain't bringing. Like, and it ain't even got to do with money. I won't say purely. It ain't even got to do with money. It's like mindset. It's like life experiences. It's being able to walk in that room and hold it down.
Well, the reality is that, like, if I've earned my money and I have a decent, like, this is the woman that's going to really be, like, raising my kids. The genetics I'm passing off. Like, I don't care if my son or daughter is just overwhelmingly pretty as much as, like, that mine.
Absolutely.
And that's just it.
And that ain't even at no upward income bracket. That's even at all income levels. Like, dog, that is something to think about. Like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people talking about
degenerate conversation.
Yeah, nah. That whole you have a beautiful family and everybody in that bitch dumb as a box of rocks. No, what does that mean? What does that mean?
They got 4 kids by 22.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, nah.
Tell me be looking like balled up. Never mind.
Hey, you can wear that. Hey, I seen the chick the other day. You know that's
a Corey Holcomb.
That's actually in style too now.
To do what?
To have that and flaunt it.
Well, I
That's in
actually don't mind it
style.
on like the new moms. I also say that, hey, it's oh, all right. Oh, all right, hold on. Let me
See,
get it
you
together.
just going somewhere
Hey,
different
hey,
anyway.
hey, put the single camera on.
Yeah. Let him wear that by himself. He can wear that dolo.
Hey, so, hey, I got like 9 minutes left on my topic, so we're gonna go here. Hey,
Let's go. There go
hey,
the
you
clip.
ever seen like it was a jump that like it was a time that you was like, damn, like that's alright, and like they put you through more shit than you needed to go through, and you see them now and they hurt. And it's like a little smirk that happened in your head.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Just be like,
That
I
I
just
wish
like
I
to
could-
say, where my camera at? I see you, baby.
Oh, fucked up out here in these streets. You was doing all of that. Hey, and then the funny thing is, the funny part about it is when she left, because she probably left, or if you left, it was your loss.
Mm-hmm.
It was your loss.
Yeah.
You could never
When
find
you done dodged
anything
that
better.
bullet, you be like, whew, a nigga putting up with that now? Damn.
That'd be.
Yeah, nah.
That's all.
I be thinking it's crazy that some people think that there's somebody that at whatever level you think that you can get that is willing to deal with you.
Yo, shit.
Like so you think that this dude gonna make let's just shoot lower. Let's say he make 80 grand.
80 grand is a solid nigga that.
Right. And
if
so
you
to
really-
me,
you
I
earn
think of
80
it
grand, not
80
like
a
on
year.
some
Like,
shit.
yeah. This nigga's like actually earning 80 a year. You believe that he's gonna look 6 feet, whatever. Now we ain't even gotta see, this is the thing. You can take it away from these top 1% guys that they was talking about, high value guys. Fuck high value.
5'10".
But I'm just 5'10". Fuck it. We can make him very just whatever.
Fuck it then, 5'8".
My nigga do say, don't leave me out, goddamn it. Yeah, and then you sitting here, and then you're probably very average. You know what I mean? You're probably average. I ain't gonna say at best. Hopefully you ain't at best, cause Shawty was goddamn throwed.
Hey, shout out to North Carolina Central. I think average at best. She might have been a North Carolina. I don't know if she graduated, but she went to school with me.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. So y'all got to see her in real life with none of the makeup
I still
on.
follow her on Facebook.
She rough.
Facebook will make you feel good about life sometimes, boy.
Well, no, I'm gonna be honest. What I do, I like pregame. This is what I like to do. Like once I meet like a girl or a female, and well, that's the same exact thing. But a woman born with ovaries. I don't know. I'm trying to make sure.
Hey, put that back on him by himself. I agree, but goddamn, I ain't saying.
Hey, listen.
think,
It be like word. It be terms. I'm just trying to make sure I say the right thing to where y'all know. Oh my bad, it's cis. I think cis man.
It's called bonus.
All cis women.
It's
That's
called a
what I'm talking
bonus hole.
about. I don't
No, I know they call
it.
it. They call it. What they call it?
The doctors the doctors have advised to start calling vaginas bonus holes.
All right, we ain't.
Man, fuck them doctors, bro. Fuck
went
them.
off. I forgot where I was going at.
Oh, you was talking about you had gonna give us free game. It was about Facebook. You meet a girl.
Oh, all right,
Yeah.
got you. So like, it's like.
Oh no, him by himself. I want to look like he been clipping shit for the last about 5 minutes. So go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, he threw out the full.
Yeah, it's
cute.
That's the third time today I've been counting.
All right,
Go ahead.
but all right. So what you have to do is like you just got to understand again. You get the follow, you there, and what I like to do is you start profile pictures, or you can go to her photos, and you have to understand like you got to find her before she learned how to do her makeup, and before she learned how to draw her eyebrows on. And for some girls, that's like 2020, 2017, 2015, but you got to keep going. Because what you want to know is like, what's that face that I'm gonna wake up to?
Yeah, I set out on the makeup to begin with.
But the thing about it is that women in general, the women that do makeup good, like it's not something that you're going to readily see or readily know. Like if they actually are good at it, like the clown makeup or the women that's like doing a little powdery, like it'd be like a bunch of like dumb shit.
Yeah,
Nobody likes bad makeup.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it is.
But my thing is
there's a lot
even
of women
but
that put that shit on.
but then my thing
They put that shit on, like for sure.
Cause my thing is even the good makeup is bad makeup to me. Like the ones that like they literally can do you all the way up. That's
No,
bad makeup as well.
But I think that like it's still like there's a lot of women that don't have to like they don't wear a lot of makeup.
Yeah.
But it's very specific, like that eyebrow makeup.
Oh, you talking about the little color on the top?
No.
Oh, you said eyebrow.
Eyebrow.
Color them on.
That's one of them ones.
Mm.
Eyebrows for a woman, you never know how much that shit can like change just how they look.
No,
when they really nice at that shit'll change their whole entire face. It'd be like, what is it? The contour, like the little eyelash shit. Not putting the eyelashes on, but like the little shit. You don't notice as a nigga how much you actually appreciate good eyelashes.
No, for sure.
Not the horse eyelashes. Not the one that you slap them quick enough you'll fly away.
Better take off.
But like I can appreciate some good mascara. That's what it's called. Some good mascara. You know what I mean? Then you have like the little foundation shit where like some women are overly cake it.
That's the cake, yeah.
That's where they go crazy.
Right. But you got some that just put enough on and they smooth out and they accentuate they cheekbones and that's
because I think it's what it is. It's
blend it well too. It
right. No,
it gotta blend.
Like,
I think the difference is when you
it gotta match.
You know the funny thing is I think the problem is where you want to look like you don't look. You want to look like somebody else. Because you know you don't look like that. Got to.
Well, you see
maybe, but
when I'm talking about when you do, I'm talking about a bad job. I'm talking about a bad job.
Them girls with them thin eyebrows, when they put that shit on, they look like a different person just off them eyebrows.
I seen a video recently.
What they used to say, fleek? On
fleek, yeah.
That's what it was on fleek.
Oh, I used to hate that shit.
I thought that was the lashes, wasn't it? Oh no, that was the baby hairs. That was the hairs.
Eyebrows on fleek.
What's the new one for the day? It was on fleek. It was slay. What's the new one?
I don't know.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Trans man.
Hey, put that back on him.
Camera phone.
Camera phone. Put that back on him.
No, that's on camera for now.
Yeah, wear that.
Oh man.
Yeah, this was gonna be hilarious.
Never mind.
I think, fellas, that'd be a good place to put a pin in it before we get canceled.
Yeah, we definitely on the clip.
We right there. We right there. So I think we'll go ahead and land the plane.
Okay, fellas. So I got one. My topic of the day, and I think that it's only necessary and right on the To Be Fair show. You know what I mean? That we make sure to give praise where if we're gonna come down on somebody or something, and we should give praise if it is necessary to do so. My topic is, or my question is, name one thing that we would like to give praise to our women, specifically Black women, or any trend that we see that they're doing and stepping into a place that we would say positive. For me, what I've seen is, and I've actually heard that men say that this is not true, but I've seen in my personal life and around me, the women that I know, holding each other accountable. I've seen that in my personal life and experiencing it. I've seen that, even though, like I said, I hear a lot of dudes saying that women ain't holding each other accountable. But to be honest, like the people that are based on the women that are around me, I've seen them holding themselves and even their friends more. Well, it's a little bit more tough on the themselves part, but at least for their friends, I've seen them hold their friends and their female family members much more accountable than we've been led to believe is happening based on the climate of what we're hearing, these sound bites and these different, let's say, red pill conversations and just the conversations around relationships here within the last, let's say, 2 years or so. What COVID was 2020?
20 years.
Yeah, so let's say the last 3 years. Like I said, I've definitely seen them holding each other accountable in ways that, and the thing is, I actually feel that there's a bit to be taken from that in actually being able to see it, so that maybe it can give us more tact to see how is it that we can attempt to hold them more accountable in a more, let's say, productive way.
Better well received.
Yeah, so that they can receive it and not feel attacked so much. You know what I mean? I hear a lot of the times where, and I've lived this as well, where anytime you do try to present something, that it's immediately taken in defense. And the crazy thing, well, I've seen that in men as well. But we specifically speaking about women in their and some positives. I'd say that I have seen them holding their friends accountable, and even if it's not necessarily in a way that's as direct as sometimes, like, well, even we jokingly seriously, like I do a jokingly serious, you know what I mean, type of thing. I've seen where women do that too. I don't know. Yeah. Well, I'll leave it at that. I think that that's definitely something that I've seen and witnessed, and I appreciate that. And hopefully it becomes more and more of a trend. I think that helps us to be able to come together and make this Black love thing of the biggest trend of them all.
Oh yeah. I'll go and what I'll say I've seen recently, and we talking about women, so I'll just stick there. But it's just something I see a lot from just everybody. But communicating, and like we said earlier, or with communicating their expectations of what they want. Man, I see that more, and not just to talking in the community. 'Cause we talked about the degenerates and the but I see the more well-rounded, conversations, and it being had in a way that is so we can receive it. But I do see a lot more women that are speaking, you know, communicating better with us men in a way that we get it and that we understand. It's kind of speaking our language, so to say. So I do see that a lot. Like I say, I think that's important. I think it's something that in the past may have gotten misconstrued, or we didn't necessarily have the avenues to put the camera on people who really need it. And a lot of times those conversations may have gotten, the real ones got swept under the rug, where we're in a spot where we can, do a little better.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, just like from what you said, just to piggyback on that, and just
Crazy.
appreciate.
Why you drill off like
Crazy.
that? That was
Crazy.
holy shit.
No, I got
At the very least, at the very least, somebody better have just shot some bread or something.
Yeah,
it was about some money.
crazy.
It was about some money. It was some work
Hey,
shit.
my nigga.
Yeah, it was somebody asking me
That was
something about
crazy.
work.
Go ahead.
Hey, in mid topic, the smooth.
Yeah, with the black niggas.
But yeah, I was gonna say, and I appreciate again based on to piggyback on what you were saying again, appreciating the willingness to start to make the attempts to speak in a way that we can possibly kind of digest more easily. Because I mean, just at the end of the day, there's some people that will say a thing, and like let's say I'm working on my attitude, whereas been working on your attitude for 30 years. But like in something like what you're saying, just being able to see that there's an attempt.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I appreciate an attempt, even if you ain't necessarily got to win the race, but just trying to put in the work to be able to be competitive in the race is appreciated.
Well, it makes me feel like my words ain't just going on. Like if I can say something and then you actually do something, that's like okay. Trying.
Yeah.
At least she's at least trying. 'Cause everybody not gonna be perfect all the time.
For sure. Nobody is.
We all humans. So gotta give grace, but the effort. That's
Gotcha. All right, so I'll start off by saying that resilience will be one. Go ahead.
Oh no! But I was saying my bad. Go ahead. Resilience.
Oh no, I think resilience. I think resilience to the black woman. This is like just in general. I think that is one of their more beautiful features, where regardless of how we shape the community, they're gonna get it done. We can look at from 1920 to 2020. They're going to be mothers, and they're going to get it done. We can critique it and how it looks like X, Y, Z, but they get it done. They are the ones that are there. Like that is the constant pillar of the community. No matter how we want to like look at it, shake it, X, Y, Z. And I think that there is something to be congratulated about that, and there's an accountability piece for us as black men, where it comes down to making sure that we are efficiently and effectively doing our part. When it comes down to raising young black boys, I hear like these talking points of the Pookies and the Ray Rays and shit like that. One, I think that shit nasty anyway. What the fuck is a Pookie and a Ray Ray? Why are we using that as like a stereotype for the black man, or the black boy, or the black teen, or the young black kid? In comparison to like just in general, what develops that? Typically, it's probably a one-parent home. And how we get there, we could have a litany of it, but I know who is there. And who's raising that next generation of kids. We got to make sure that, you know what I mean, like we have our imprint in that. So I think that that's one. You said current trends. I would say, I think the soft life shit, or whatever that new little thing is about women trying to step into the feminine, whatever that shit is. To me, that sounds like a direct response to men saying that women are too masculine and shit like that. So again, if we want them to be malleable, then we got to clap our hands for them, like trying to be malleable.
Absolutely.
Right? Where like that's again another one of those things where we want our voices to be heard. We can see it being heard and what actions are being taken. What are we gonna do about it? Let's make sure we step up and come to the table with like, I don't know, is it called hard life? I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? That sounds dumb, but in general, like, I can see not reciprocal, but just an effect off of what the conversation is, and I can appreciate that, even if like I don't agree with it X, Y, Z. It just is what it is. I would also like to say that if I'm talking about black women, I would like to say that even if we look at it statistically, but in general, I think that the educated black woman is not the minority, and I think that the average black woman that is of an educated ilk does not fit into these stereotypes that the majority conversation ends up leaning to. Especially as I've like taking a lot of time to kind of like dispel intentionally a lot of the myths of the red pill, and when it comes down to black community and our black women. So yeah, that's kind of where I'll put it at. Yeah.
I got one more.
Yeah, I thought we was doing one, so I guess we'll double back down the line.
Hey, no, listen,
he dropped three.
The man that showed out on us, you know.
Yeah.
We got. I got one more.
I'm gonna throw out one before you say another one I was thinking about.
I got one more. I got one more.
Let Toad go.
Now I'm gonna say one of the things I definitely have seen, and this isn't much so a new thing, but they still are getting better at this. That I actually really really like. Women in entrepreneurship, killing it. Like our women in entrepreneurship, like just the stuff that the ideas that they coming up with. A lot of this stuff is like. The women is inspiring me in my own business. Like that's what, because I don't really see a lot of men like really starting up businesses and talking about it now. But women is doing it. They helping other people start business. They helping each other along the way. They helping the whole community in that area. So I think that's definitely like a big thing that I would like to throw out there before Johnny was able to still.
Yeah, I ain't you know this. I still got one more. I still got one more. And this one, it's gonna be fun. But I like the natural black look coming back too. Women wearing their hair natural.
That ain't new. That's been here for a little.
It's been there for. That started with the woke. The original woke.
The original woke.
Yeah, original woke.
It started with that. What you were saying about the new woke?
Oh no, you know, we talking about women right now. We gonna get them they flowers right now.
But no, what are we talking about? I have seen more of the locks.
The locks, yeah.
You see women, you see way more women like rocking the
when you say women,
bro, what you looking at me for, bro?
What you mean by that?
What do they call them? They call them something when you can give birth now. They call them what?
Oh, what, birther people?
Birther people. I'm talking about birther people. Birthing people.
Yeah.
Only.
But this what I'm saying is specific to them. Is what I'm saying.
Now that we've gotten that out the way. Now that we got that out. Natural bodies, well, that's the BBL still out here, but I feel like a lot of women are trying to.
What you see at Northlake?
Oh yeah, the BBL John. I had seen her at Bojangles before that.
Because bro ain't going to Whole Foods, he ain't going to Earth.
Well, we said talk about one. We're talking about one specific scenario. This man here gonna try to act like I just stay in the hood all my life. Come on, bruh.
Said he ain't never been to Kroger's.
Right.
Publix, nigga.
Publix?
But nah,
Please don't put no respect on my shit. Go ahead.
nah, I ain't say you said that. I ain't say that.
I said what?
And I think you be in the hood all the time.
Oh, okay, go
I
ahead.
ain't say that. You said that. But
He thinks so too.
I think you been.
Yeah. You think I be in the hood all the time? Like I ain't step foot out. You hear Jeff? They call me Hidden Valley Real or something. When y'all was in the jungle.
HBR.
Niggas act like I don't leave the hood, but go ahead.
Hey, listen. All up.
Hey, can I finish shouting out the natural? All
right, let me know.
Let my man get his flowers off.
Because I do like that, and I do like black women going away. We're gonna get to the super woke shit from the European centric, standards. I like that real black beauty, and the more we put it on display and like glorify, kind of put that on the pedestal, I feel like it'll just allow more people to just be comfortable in that. So that's one thing I've seen recently, in modern women that I do like that. I don't necessarily think our parents, grandparents were, able, they probably couldn't wear their hair the way they wanted. I like that. And I like to see women embrace it too.
Yeah, no, I hope that's a big trend. I hope that's an even bigger trend. And only thing I'll say, I think that I would say like first off, I would say what you said about the Pookie and Ray Ray thing. I think that is very. I think that it's necessary for us to identify specific behaviors. You don't necessarily got to call them a certain thing, but I think that's almost making it funny.
That's more or less.
That's almost making it funny. You know what I mean? When I see the dip, me and old head riding, I see the dipping back and forth. You know what I mean? Like, and it's the Nissan. This is probably Shaquita. Then when you pull up, probably Shaquita or Tyrone. But and then Jose and them can't
all
drive.
I know is that shit turns into a nigga like them guys on Fresh and Fit wearing Klan masks around a bunch of black women and a white supremacist.
Oh yeah, no.
That's what I seen that shit evolve.
No, I mean, well, it depends. That ain't no shit that's evolving for
those
me.
be literally the same niggas that
be
Time out.
That ain't what it's no.
Time out.
Listen,
Time out.
Hey, Tone, find my camera real quick.
This man try to.
As you know, I have been assassinating the red pill fairly recently. But one of those leaders of that red pill shit that tend to find themselves quoting a lot of Kevin Samuels. Myron from.
What does that have to do with anything that you talk about with Klan shit?
I'm about to get there.
I'm saying, what did Kevin Samuels have to do with the Klan?
I think right now you're grabbing a hold to Kevin. That wasn't the point that I was going.
That's all right. Go ahead.
So no, like all I said was that they regurgitate a lot of Kevin Samuels talking.
Okay, go ahead.
In which we also do we not say that he's the godfather of the red pill?
Go ahead,
I'm just trying to make sure I can paint it for you, you can follow along. In which these guys are now, again, the spokespeople of the red pill. These are probably like the biggest platform when it comes down to it. And again, what I'm saying is that the rhetoric that started at one point has been exacerbated to another space, and it has gotten to a space where, again, we now have a known white supremacist named Nick Fuentes, in which the red pill, quote unquote, are bringing him on to like their biggest platform to speak about relationship dynamics, because that's what the panel is about. In which ends in the white man saying nigga, and it ends in the North African guy putting on a Klan mask and finding that piece funny.
That's crazy.
That's all I'm saying.
That's crazy. I mean, did you go that sounds like we should immediately stop watching them guys.
I agree.
At that point right there, it seems like immediate. Like, I mean, I ain't say that I watched them. I've seen their content. I've never went and watched the full thing, but yeah, it sounds like I'll skip their shit for the rest of period. Mm-hmm. I won't even bother to hear what they're talking about.
Boat and I quit watching.
Yeah, I think it's over for as far as those guys go. I'll sit out.
I like get a good positive takeaways.
I like it. I can throw one. Actually, give me 3 to 4 minutes. My positive takeaway. I would like to shout out my mother. In which her 60th birthday was this past Sunday.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday. Love you.
Birthday, Mama Sharon.
Love you for sure.
And I'll give y'all like an abbreviated space of like my speech that I gave to everybody. In which I think that when I look at my mother's, like she's 60 years old, and the biggest words that I can put to her is impact. And this is like something that I try and live myself by. Where I look at my family tree and I look at community. Family tree, we from Jersey. I was born in Jersey. She was the first one to move down here from Charlotte. And through her moving down to Charlotte, now all of my family lives in Charlotte. And she was the oldest sister. My grandmother passed away, and she became the matriarch of the family. As a piece of being a matriarch of the family, you end up taking on a lot of different roles, and some of that ends up being that your cousins become your brothers, your nephews become your sons and daughters. And like I can say that like a good majority of all my cousins I live with at some point in time, so we have that connection, and that just is what it is. And I think that at 35 and thinking about what that would take and what it would be, like damn, that's a lot. But my mother did that with no problem. That shit was just what she did off the strength. I advanced that into community because of again, why I will go and complain, but I'll still go volunteer and coach basketball. Why I'll do community outreach shit is because of my mother was at the ground level when it came down to impacting the community. I grew up on the west side of Charlotte. I've been inside all the worst neighborhoods in Charlotte. We could talk about the Delahaye Courts. We could talk about the Double Oaks, Drew Hills, like Betty's Fort, heart of Betty's Fort. And she had a drill team in which, like, we practiced in those spaces, we recruited in those spaces, and we were of those spaces.
Facts.
And it was never a moment in which I felt uncomfortable. I felt out of reach, and like I like who knows what that nigga right over there was doing, but he gave grace to us as kids. And because of that, I seen a generation around me of young black boys over like the span of probably like 4 years. It probably was about like 50, 60 of us. In which during those times we was practicing 2 hours. That was 6 to 8 prime time. In which she was keeping young black boys out of the streets.
Facts.
And like the impact of that was seen to where like from when NGD like new generation wasn't there, you seen those same kids end up finding their way into trouble. But during that time, these was like kids that had a mission, had a purpose. And again, I am grateful and I am proud to have called my mother my mother. She's also a listener of the To Be Fair show, so hey, ma. But again, like I like to kind of like take that as my positive takeaway and leave that.
Yeah, and that was man.
Shut up, Mama Sharon.
I swear, bro. The thing is that she now like she pretty much. I feel like I owe my positive takeaway too because she saved me as well. I was one of those kids that he was talking about. You know what I mean? Like she literally, bro. I guarantee there's probably many boys that went to college strictly off of the fact that there were. But I never thought about college before getting on that drum line. Literally the only reason that I could even fathom going to college. Like it was nothing else. Like for what? I'm not going to school. I'm done. Like this is the end. You trying to get more out of me? But if it was the drums. You know what I mean? It was the drums. Literally, bro. Like when I tell you that was even when I think back about like the greatest, like the best times that I had. It was over there. It was going to practice, and then she literally like what I mean. I definitely feel like I can call her mama. You know what I mean? I was over there. She welcomed me in. You know what I mean? A plate, whatever it was. Like I mean, yeah, I'm definitely like a son. You know what I mean? So everything as far as her community outreach is absolutely true. Goated, and I remember I was one of those kids. So we had dues to pay. You know what I mean? But we wasn't in the financial position to pay dues. I already knew it was messed up, so I wouldn't even ask. You know what I mean? And now, like as an adult, I wish I still should have asked because what it did was it put it all on her back, and Brother Mike's back, and Mr. Mike's back, and you know, bro, I am so grateful because like there was a lot of bro. She's goated, bro, and I even posted it as well. Like she's goated for like not even just like my experience. I can only speak about my experience, but I literally saw how many people were impacted. You know what I mean? And like he's saying, during those hours where that idle mind, you know what I mean, could get the best of you. And then in times where I was one of the when it wasn't there, I was one of the guys that started to get into more trouble. You know what I mean? Because of that idle mind, just not having that
different level of structure. Like just
this
a level of structure.
yeah, that structure to have this time being allocated to this. You know what I mean? And so I greatly appreciate her. I think that we all do. She impacted so many lives that like, yeah, she bro, deserves all of the flowers, bro. Like that's crazy. And just like you're literally paying for this thing out of your family, taking your time. You know what I
Away from
mean?
your family.
Away from your family, creating a family. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. Like that was definitely nah. We love you. We love you for sure, and appreciate everything you did.
Oh, that's I fuck. Mine's gonna feel a little selfish now. Mine's gonna
I
feel.
did kind of put you in this weird spot after that. That's my bad.
I was like, damn, hold up, wait a minute. I should have went first. But nah, it ain't even about me. I've been meaning to shout out, but my two nieces. My oldest niece Ariel and my youngest niece Alexa. The youngest just made not just, but it's a few weeks ago, but made Dean's List at Vanderbilt.
Oh yeah.
So she's the smartest one in the
Congratulations.
family. And my oldest niece Ariel, she just graduated. What's it called?
Cum laude, sum cum.
Nah, got her master's.
Oh, okay.
Graduate school. She just graduated.
Dope.
She just and she got a job as a psychologist. So
Sheesh.
she's going out here, gonna make a
Couple
impact
calls.
on the community. But yeah, those my two.
You got a bunch of nieces that tell you about yourself. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. But I love them, and those like they like my little sisters. So
Nah, for sure.
I gotta shout them out. Love y'all, Ariel, Alexa, Uncle Johnny, love you. But yeah, that's my positive takeaway. I wanted to shout out a little bit of my family.
That's what's up.
I got two dope nieces and dope sister too. Charlaine's a good mom.
Hold on, don't start making me feel away because I ain't shout out my people. That was a good enough positive takeaway, my nigga. Let's
Hold
leave
on, I
it at
gotta
that.
start shouting.
Nah,
This nigga finna give a rundown.
I ain't about to give no rundown. I'm gonna make it real quick though. Like what I do want to say is like get my positive takeaway like this. I think y'all are doing a great job on this. Like got to give y'all a big. Really proud of y'all guys. Just one more thing, just positive takeaway. The way we just handled this women segment, I thought that was dope. Like women, if y'all listening to this, we want y'all to know that we do love y'all. Black women especially,
Yes.
we love y'all.
Yes.
Love y'all. We know y'all don't hear that enough from men. We want you to know we love y'all. We gonna have some stuff to say, but we love y'all
Yeah.
for real. And that's my positive takeaway.
Love gang. But
What's up, Johnny?
I think that was a great episode. Appreciate y'all, boy. Appreciate that tone. Really
For
do
sure.
that shit. It mean a lot. We, you've been right here with us too. So
We appreciate
so,
you, bro.
Yeah,
for sure.
for sure. We appreciate you, sir. I ain't gonna call it shit out.
I'm just gonna call him Sir Radar.
Yeah, that's what I thought he was gonna say too.
I'll just call them tone, earth tones, high tones, mid tones, all of that. But
Dial tone.
dial tones. But that was the To Be Fair show. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button. Follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and now Threads.
Yes.
Episode 3, the To Be Fair show, coming from the foe. Your host Johnny P.
Over here, real.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.